Music and apartheid. Huma Sekela, Miriam Makeba, exiled. Mbongeni Ngema, Chiko Twala, their music was banned. As the old lyric goes, what good is a song if it can't inspire? So 25 years into our democracy, how do our musicians today choose to express our hard-won freedom? Let's get started. Good evening and welcome to the Democracy Gauge. I'm Bongani Bingwa. Now, at the height of apartheid, music played a vital role in exposing an oppressive and evil system and garnered recognition from around the world. Of course, the regime fought back and imprisoned some musicians, banned their songs, and even exiled others. But international stars like Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Harry Belafonte joined forces with local artists to carry the message far and wide. And the soundtrack of the struggle was a powerful message of inspiration. In 1988, the Nelson Mandela 70th birthday concert in London helped to tell the whole world what was happening in South Africa. And even though most people may not have known about Nelson Mandela initially, through the music, they got to know about him. But does our music today still have that same impact? That's why we're asking our poll question tonight. Do you still find meaning in South African music? You can choose from our three colors. Green is for yes, yellow is for maybe, and of course, no is the red color. You can also send us a WhatsApp video, 065-862-4548. You can also find our poll on sabcnews.com. And of course, the conversation is on Facebook and Twitter. Remember to use our hashtag SABCDG25 and the other one, SABC News. Now, we always ask you, of course, to send us those WhatsApp videos. And I can tell you today, a lot of you have a lot to say. Let's take a look at some of those thoughts.
Umbuzeni usiphakuphamisa mpiko somanda sabukusamaqala uJojo Mateta sogoboqolo ngithi undana wabo smart ungiyalini umaskandi lo hamba overseas international ngingasho nje ngithi mina umculo wanamhlanje ngingasho nje ukuthi eminye yawo khona uthola ukuthi awusenayo message sekuba khona ubumnandi nje ngaphela umculo siyazi ukuthi into ihamba ngegazi bese kuthi omunye wawo njengomuntu kaMaskandi thina kuMaskandi sikhuluma ngento eyenzakalayo neyenzakala ezweni futhi ngingasho ukuthi nje umculo wanamhlanje ukhona nemessage njengengibala uMaskandi njengisho sikhuluma mengabe kuthiwa konakele siyebeka nje indaba iziwe umhlaba wonke ngasho nje ukuthi umculo iwonke uhlangene omunye unayo message omunye awunayo message ngabe kanjalo.
The music industry has evolved so much over the years, and I would like to see more of our local artists embracing their African culture in their music, because most of them wants to imitate the Western culture, and it's really not working for them.
Hi guys, my name is Demo Skosana. I am a music producer, songwriter, artist, and I run a label called Demo Music. Of course, South African music has a meaning. Otherwise, we wouldn't be still doing it if it didn't have any meaning. It has a meaning because as South African artists, we are the voices of the people. But yeah, man, South African music does have a major role to play. It has a meaning. It will always have a meaning.
Ashila demed umthandeni wakamanqalelo igcwamela ishumshuve enkalo kwabanenkani ngidabuka phansi sigodini sasemdletsheni ehluhlukela ngibuya khona sinayo umlayezo lapha umculo kaMaskandi kodwa uma ungene emculweni kaMaskandi ungene ngesiphiwo sakho ukuthi uphiwe umculo wanamhlanje awufani nowakuqala iqali kwakushaya igince omkhulu bethu nobaba bethu beshaya igince bejabulela ubumnandi besound kodwa namhlanje abantu abayithengi into noma uthenga umsebenzi ongasetshenziswe ngokuyimisela noma ongabathinta enhlizweni umculo kaMaskandi nomculo wamanje usinomlayezo kakhulu ngokwedlulahlulele ngoba uthinta zonke izindawo futhi sesi international siyakwazi ukucula ngazo zonke izilimi ezihlukahlukene ngingasho ngithi njengamanje sekukhulu ukuphucuzeka okukhona futhi kukhona ukukhula okukhona endimeni umculo kaMaskandi usudlala yonke indawo awusabandlululwa ndawo siyabonga.
So that's the sentiment in those WhatsApp videos. But what of those who argue that our music has become too commercialized, too plastic? Well, tonight we're joined in the studio in Johannesburg by musician Tami Shobede, who joins us now. Welcome to the Democracy Gauge. A very good evening to you, Tami.
To be here. Thank you for having me.
And of course, we're not alone today. We also have in our Durban studios singer-songwriter, producer Daniel Barron in our Durban studios. Daniel, good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us on the Democracy Gauge tonight.
Good evening. Great to be on the show.
Let me start with you, Daniel, because, you know, you've got sort of the bird's eye view of the music industry. You're a performer yourself, but you also write and produce for other people. If we talk about the last 25 years of democracy, what has that soundtrack sounded like for South Africa?
I think it's been nothing short of powerful. The word powerful really embodies the South African culture, and the culture is, I believe, driven by music. And the mere thought of our national anthem, which I've actually just recently done a production of, is just that. It embodies the Rainbow Nation, and it embodies so many different cultures into one song. And I believe music is just that. It is an international and universal language. And I think that, you know, as a musician, there's no better way and no easier way than to deliver a message through music. And I think the past 25 years in our country have been just that. Yeah. Artists like Johnny Clegg, Mendoza, and the memories of someone like Miriam Makeba, and, you know, these songs live on forever, and that's what music is.
You talk about, you know, people like Johnny Clegg, for example, Mendoza, crossover artists, if you like. And of course, your rendition of the national anthem is a good one. But one thing that people can point out is that we remain divided. We've got major performers in South Africa who can't perform the national anthem, as we've seen recently, who can't even remember the lyrics. So people will say that actually this is all for show, but it's not really deep, it's not really real. Yes, Daniel?
Sorry, I was listening to the anthem in the back there. You know, that's a phenomenal point you have there, and I think definitely there's a definite division, or not. I wouldn't say a division, but there are certain artists that have fumbled on the anthem, and that has been I suppose a difficult thing for a lot of people to witness. And you know, I can't judge because I've forgotten lyrics of some of my own songs. So I mean, that I don't think that is a real representation of you know, a division in music and in culture. But that said, you know, music and that's why I took on the anthem to do my own special rendition of. Because just for that exact reason, you know, music and culture and so much can be said through that.
Through song.
Yeah.
Through song. All right. Tami, let me bring you into the conversation. You're in studio here with us. Of course, you are possibly one of the best examples of what's emerged in the last 25 years. Opportunities, competitions, exposure, the kind of which we never could have seen in the old regime. But some people will look at artists like yourself and that process through which you have come and say it's all too commercial. Music doesn't quite mean what it once did. What's your response to that?
I think music still means as much as it meant before. It's just the challenges that music was about at that time, the issues that music was about at that time. are probably not here anymore. Like, it does not make sense for a 20-year-old artist who was born after 1994 to sing about the struggles of before 1994, because they do not really understand that. So we sing about more relevant issues now, issues of infidelity, issues of slay queens and people that party over what you would expect. We also sing about uniting the nation. We also sing about just holding each other's hands and going forward. And we sing about building a better future. We sing about a lot of things that are relevant today.
So whether in the past or even now, music is still that powerful vehicle to unite people, to express what people are feeling.
Exactly.
You've got a new album. Tell me about your new release. What are you focusing on? What are you singing about?
So with my first album, the main topic was love. I had experienced so much love in my life, and a lot of love was just flooding me, and I decided to go create an album about love. And now, after that, and having experienced fame in the past 3 years, and trying to get into the industry, trying to make it into the industry, trying to be more prominent in the industry, I've experienced a lot of breakups, because now focusing on your work could sometimes, jeopardize your relationships. And so now I'm singing more about that. Hence, my new songs titled Angisajoli. It doesn't really mean that I don't want love anymore. I want love, but how many people out there look at love and are like, no, but this is going to stand in the way of my career. Let me just focus on my career.
Okay.
This is going to stand in the way of my religion. Let me just focus on my religion.
So you're singing about growth because that's what you're doing as a person. That's what you're doing as an artist. All right, Daniel, let me bring you back into the conversation. I mean, people, as I said, have this criticism of the over-commercialization of music. They look at you guys. We've been playing some of the videos that you've produced in the background. It all looks glamorous and it looks like a lot of fun. But it really is, and always has been hard work, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Creating music is one thing, but putting it out and performing it and creating these videos it's a lot of hard work. And I think what I've grown to realize in the past is when I put out music and when I write music, staying true to what I want to express from what I've been through in my life tends to relate, and it tends to get to people's souls even more so when you put out something that is real. And that, I think, ties in when, for instance, when you're singing about love or singing about heartbreak from your own perspective, somehow it seems to relate to so many people, and that's where music can pull people together in a way. And for instance, another song of mine that I recently, or a couple of years back, titled Children of the Sun, it was meant to just be a song to go out and have a good time and more of a club kind of anthem. But that same song, I saw audiences from all walks of life standing in front of me, having a good time and just almost celebrating life together. And a simplistic song like that can also do wonders in what I've witnessed as well.
Tammy, talk to me about, you say that the music of today is about obviously what we are dealing with as a society today. But both in terms of what we need to get over from the past and what we have to deal with today. There's still a sense that the nation needs healing. How can music help to facilitate that coming together that Daniel speaks about, that sense of healing, that sense of forging this nation together? How does music play a role in that?
I think that's where artists like Brenda Fassie, Ringo Madlingo's, Jabu Kanyile, and Abo Ashili Mhlope, that's where they earn an award over us musicians of today. They were not really focused on their walk through life, like the Adeles of today and other musicians who write about their relationship experiences, and maybe if today's musicians were more focused on these social issues that we don't really talk about all the time, and that when we do talk about them, we're talking about them in the form of, I just gave 100,000 rand to that charity. Let's speak about that in song, maybe. I think that's where they've got a point over us.
All right, don't give yourself too hard a time. As you said, you're still growing, you'll get there. Thank you very much to both of you for being a part of our discussion. Good luck with the new releases, with the new music. We hope to obviously see your impact continue on the nation. Now, a reminder of our poll question this evening. Do you still find meaning in South African music? Green is for yes, yellow is for maybe, red is for no. We encourage you to send us more of those WhatsApp videos, 065 862 4548. We'll share some of your views after this quick break. So as we go to the break, choose.
Did you know the big hole digging started in 1871 and ended on the 14th August 1914? The hole produced 2,722 kgs of diamonds. However, one diamond as huge as 490 carat of stone found in the open prior 1868 gave them the interest to dig. Extracted from 22.5 million tons of soil. Today, the hole sits at a breathtaking 214 meters deep. Kimberley Big Hole attracts tourists from all over the world, taking a vintage tram past the city, then cycling around the Big Hole.
Solani Mkiva says that they believe that the king should be released and that they are not being opportunistic.
The last 4 years, we have been engaging with government. It cannot be a post-colonial government that begins to jail a king in a context of what actually happened.
Bobby Solomons, he's the spokesperson of the Alex Shutdown Committee, the multi-billion rand Alexander Renewal Project. Nothing came of that.
Community wants to know what really happened to the money.
The creative director of the label, Mansu, that of course means black is beautiful in Sesotho. What has been your experience in that regard, given some of the more established labels that you have managed to work with?
It is hard. 15 years is a long time. There's a lot of sacrifice for your family to make for you.
This is the thing.
Wearing without the brief.
This is it this morning.
Welcome back. As you know, Democracy Gate is all about you. And so let's find out what your sentiments are on social media. Some of the tweets that have come through this afternoon. Stebu says, today most of the musicians do it for money. South African music is awesome, says Mongile. Only in Afropop, jazz and Maskandi. Tavi says, I don't believe our music still has meaning. Our South African artists do music to prove a point, not to benefit listeners. This generation will suffer since we don't have passionate artists like the late Robbie Malinga. We listen to uninspiring music. Yes, that of Lucky Dube, Chaga Chaga, Dr. Victor, I still listen to. On Facebook, for me, Java made South African music meaningful on the R&B side. Meaningful music has always been Afro soul. Could you believe I find Sipho Mabuse more interesting than today's noise that's called music, says one view. Afro soul is the only music making sense now, period. The rest is just noise. And one more says, yes, guys, something Soweto, Lira, Zahara, Kurt Darren mentions a whole bunch of others, Tandisoma Zwei, Heinz Winkler, the list goes on and on. Real music still exists. We only need to listen and listen then. So that's the view, that's the sentiment on social media. Now we encourage you to send us voice notes. Here are some of them coming up. All right, the People's View allows you then to share some of your thoughts directly with us. Here's more of what you have to say.
Our South African music has lost meaning based on the fact that most of our artists now are impostures of the Western world. And again, our music doesn't encourage the youth anymore. Instead, it demoralizes them. And again, we've lost our roots as the nation. Even our language has changed. We are afraid to embrace our own languages when it comes to our music. So that is another reason that has taken meaning away from our music.
What it is, my people. This is Go Slow. I'm reporting live from Give Some Entertainment. I'm an artist producer and I'm pushing an artist as we speak. To be quite honest with you, music in our country has actually not evolved, but lost its taste and its touch. Because now people are only rapping about individual things, about what they have, what they own, or what they do, or who they're chilling with. It's not no longer about how we can build each other as a nation, how we can inspire the youth in order to actually tackle situations and all the things that are going on in our days.
What it is about you. All right, send us your WhatsApp videos if you want to be part of the People's View in our next show. There's the number on your screen, 065-862-4548. At the end of this show, I'll be throwing forward to tomorrow's topic. If your name is John Mavundla from Mpumalanga, your story is coming up after the break.
We do not just speak. We let every voice in our nation find full expression in language and in culture. We do not just teach. We empower all people with education. We do not just bring you the news. We place you where the news is happening. We do not just entertain. We take you on journeys. We do not just broadcast sport. We create an arena for sporting heroes to inspire you. Ours is not just a job, it's a calling to ensure that everyone in our nation is informed, educated, and entertained. We're able to do this because you do your part. SABC TV licenses. It's all made possible by you. Get the facts first.
In 1994, ek dink was ons almal was ook baie excited geweest.
For South Africa, art was never a good thing.
From a footballing point of view, there was never a separation.
Get to the truth.
There's still some serious issues in South Africa.
Maar ek dink die regering kan regtig probeer om harder te werk om
ke apartheid imsutlile ke le ke swa ke batho ba rena ba democracy batho ba batsho e se makgowa.
See what it all really means.
Ek is geel, want dit is die kleur in die verkeerslig wat vir jou sê wees versigtig.
I still give South Africa a hate.
We are somewhere in between.
We're giving our democracy a green for sure. We're very happy.
Democracy Gauge, weekdays at 5:30 on SABC News, Channel 404.
Inspire indeed. Of course, as you know, throughout the show, we've been going around the country crisscrossing, getting the stories of ordinary South Africans. And you can check all of those out on our elections website, sabcnews.com/elections. There's a map dotted with all those stories that we've been telling. Today, of course, we are looking at the story of John Mavundla from Mpumalanga, who's been in the taxi industry since 1994. And he says he's gained a lot in the last 25 years.
Igama lami nguJohn Mavundla, ngihlala eLikazi kaNyamazwana. Ngina 55 years ubudala. Njengomuntu lo anesikhathi lesithe ku taxi industry kuya ngami igovernment lesiphethe kwanyalo ibonakala engakasithi indzawo nakunye nje lo ngakusho ngoba isithole sukulelizinga lesikulo lo lokwendile ilethe recapitalization yasithembisa ukuthi sitawuba ne subsidy but kuze kube namuhla ayikho isubsidy lesike sayithola ngo1994 nasiyovota kuliqiniso ukuthi hey besijabulile futhi silangatelela umbuso lomusha ngoba sithenjiswe kuphela ukuthi kutawuba ngumbuso webantu uma singakhuluma ngetimbi temateksi lebetithatha indzawo lena kuboma 90s singasho ukuthi usitile government kuloko ngoba ungeneleleni kwakhe ubese utshintsha ama structure labe kasiphethe wa introduce iSantaco leisho ukuthi as a national taxi alliance ku South Africa yonke so waqala ukugavena ama taxi noma ukwa controller so lokho kwenda ukuthi ngempela ukubulalana kungasabi khona sifisa kungathi government anga recognize i-taxi industry okanye ama-taxi industry asinike i-subsidy ngoba silayisha abantu labayemisebentini kunamakhampani yabelungu labanamabhasi labathola i-subsidy and nasibuka thina silayisha abantu labaningi ukwendlula lawo makhampani ngakhetha lo yellow the reason why ngikhetha lo yellow sengishito ukuthi ama-taxi association government bekangawanakile besilwa sodwani sibulalana kungekho lo sinaka kepha kufika kwakhe wendile ukuthi awayende abe akontroleke ngalamanye amagama wende ukuthi uma kukhona lokukhona sihlale phansi sikhulume naye singakwadi kulwa sodwana so ngaleso sizathu ngasho ukuthi lokuncane ukwendile kepha lokuningi kusashota.
Right, the road ahead is still long there, says John. Now, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the results for today's poll. There they are appearing on your screen at the moment. As always, thank you for taking time to watch and participate in our show. Tomorrow, we're asking, can we democratize the health industry? We're closing off with a special performance from Tami Shavede.
This is goodbye. Ansafuna ukujola wadlala ngaba ngifuna ukujola badlale ngenhliziyo yami living Versace life. This is goodbye. Ansafuna ukujola